Today we are going to continue our IoT lesson. Previously, we used the Arduino to publish a feed, publish data to a feed, and the collected feed is used in the dashboard or sent to the app via the API so that we can see the data on the app. So we managed to connect the Arduino via Wi-Fi and publish the data to the feed. This lesson, the next lesson, what we are going to do is we are going to switch. We are going to use the dashboard or the app to send data to the feed, and the data from the feed will be subscribed by Arduino. So it will assess the feed, and if there is any change in the data, it will act accordingly. So we are going to first start with dashboard changing the feed. So in here, the feed, I'm going to create a new feed. I'm going to call this master. So this is the key. Later we will link the dashboard to this feed, and it will publish to this feed. So I'm going to create a new dashboard. Again, master. So I have opened two tabs. One is for the feed, another one is for the dashboard. I'm going to create a new block. This time around, I'm going to create a toggle, link it to the master. Going to call this LED switch. So it's on and off. Create block. Done. So when I use this switch to on it, the feed will be updated with a value. Off it is updated with another value off. So this is how you can use the dashboard to plot data to the feed. You can also create slider to input different values. This is more like a potentiometer for analog writing of values, or should I say analog reading of values to the feed. Next, going to go to Tinkerbell, going to duplicate the template. Template, if you duplicate it last week, you can actually use it, because there are two segments, the send and receive. So you can use the send section to do the change. Previously we changed the data in the receive data screen. For the blocks, we changed the feed key, username, ARO key. Now today we are going to do the same thing for the send data. Going to go to blocks, going to insert a feed key, username, AIO key. One way of accessing your feed key is to click on the feed info. You'll see your feed key. Next, take note of your username, copy the active key, done. 3 data, okay, 3 piece of data that you need to put in: feed key, username, AIO key. Go back to design, go to preview. Now from here you want to send data, just click on this, okay, and then you can type in the data. I'm going to just type in on, send data. Okay, so it has managed to send data. Let's look at the feed. There, the data sent in is on, small case, okay, lowercase. So so this is how we can use the Tinkerbell or the dashboard to input the data. Of course, if I do this on, it will change to on. It doesn't have the lowercase for this. Okay, off it. Next, we are going to use this toggle, okay, to change the built-in LED status. So we're going to go to Tinkercad. Going to create a new circuit. Okay, I'm going to just need one Arduino for this exercise. Okay, go to code. Okay, delete all this away. So let's go back to the slides first. So we have completed this part. We are able to use dashboard, the app, to write data to feed. Next, we are going to get the Arduino to subscribe to the feed. Arduino to subscribe to the feed so that it can receive the information and light up the built-in LED. Now, previously we did this publishing. There are 3 things that you need to take note. 3 sections: declare variable, set up, loop. There's also this transmit data. Okay, so whatever data that we got, we transmit the data via this piece of code. This week, same 3 sections that we need to transplant the code in: declare variable, set up, and loop. The only thing different is that instead of transmitting data, we will be receiving data. So the thing that you need to take note of, the variable will be receive raw data. We are going to use this receive raw data, okay, to based on what is the value, we react to it. So I'm going to create a new variable. It will be received raw data. Please type accordingly. Okay, please type according to how I type it. Okay, receive raw data. So type it that way. Okay, done. The reason we need to do this is because I bring you to Arduino. Open libraries, Arduino companion master subscribe. Okay, Arduino will be subscribing to the feed, so I click on subscribe. The string receive raw data is declared. We want to use this string, so we just create the same variable in Tinkercad. Now, so we are going to do some if else. So if or if receive raw data is equal to, now this is optional, but we're just going to do this. So in case when somebody type in differently, there's no issue. Okay, because in this case when we look at this is uppercase on off, but when we use the app, it may not be on off, it may be a lowercase on or off. So we want to use this to try and check it. Okay, so if it's uppercase on or lowercase on, we'll do something about it. But we cannot type any alphabets here. Okay, we cannot type any alphabets. It's for numbers, so it's just a placeholder. We're going to just leave it as this first. Okay, so if it's on, what we're going to do is output set built-in LED to high, or else set built-in LED to low. Okay, so this portion receive raw data is equal to on, or receive raw data equal to lowercase on. We will switch on. Anything else is off. Okay, done. Now we go to the blocks, we go to the code. Okay, this integer receive raw data equals 0. This is declaring the variable. I go to here. This variable is declared as a string. Okay, we are just using the Tinkercad to create the structure. So we do not need to declare the integer receive raw data equals 0, because receive raw data is declared as a string here. So we not going to care about this. Okay, so this part, okay, for now, for today, we don't need to use this, so you can ignore this. Okay, in case if next time you create other more complex code, you may need to have more variables, then you need to declare it here. Okay, anything above void setup should be declared here. Now we go to setup. Okay, insert setup code here will be this pin mode 13 output. Just going to overwrite this. Okay, then go down to here. It says insert your loop code here, and you can do more processing with receive raw data. So this is the key variable that we need to use, which we already declared, and we are using it in here. Okay, so this, just need to copy this. Remember, don't copy the delay. We paste it over here. Okay, now next thing. So if receive raw data equal to 1, now is 1, we need to change it. Now we need to, it will be, the data will be given us via a string. So we need to change it to a string, and we just say on. Or this will be on. Okay, it's a string, that's why we need a double quotation mark. Or we can include another one. Let's just try, and or uppercase O on. So either one of these will trigger it to on. Anything else will off it. Okay, so this is our code. This code is done. We just need to fill in the SSID and the SSID and the Wi-Fi password. So the SSID, password, then I have the AIO username and key. Same thing, we just copy this, paste it over, and the feed key is probably master. I'm just going to check it again, master. So you just copy the feed key, paste over. So all this is done. Okay, it's able to connect to Wi-Fi, it's able to log into IO, and it knows which feed to feed the data. Next, we are going to just verify. Okay, done compiling, so there is no error in my code. Okay, then we will start to do up our circuit. Okay, so things to take note. I'm just going to close this. Okay, move it to here. Okay, so later the feed will come in and we will monitor the time. Okay, take note, we don't need to plug in anything for this because we are going to use the built-in LED, which is this red LED. Okay, so make sure you have the Wi-Fi chip plugged in. Okay, plug it correctly, and your deep switch, make sure it's all set to on. If you get errors like hotting, okay, they can't detect the Wi-Fi, it could be because of the deep switch, it could be because you didn't plug in the Wi-Fi properly. There are cases whereby people don't plug in the 8 legs, okay, they didn't plug it in properly, maybe left 2 legs hanging out. Okay, so make sure you plug it in correctly, make sure it is pointed inwards, it's not dangling outside. Okay, so only this should be outside. Okay, so make sure you have the Wi-Fi chip. This is the USB UART serial chip, so make sure you have all these plugged in. Okay, next, gonna plug this into my computer. Plug the Arduino in. Okay, once plugged in, going to start to upload code. Okay, I'll look at my Wi-Fi hotspot, and I'm going to check my serial monitor. Okay, it's connected, Wi-Fi connected, setting up MQTT. Successfully subscribed. So now we are going to use the camera to show you. Okay, a few things that you need to take note. Go to the master. Okay, take a look at these the LED, the red LED. When I turn the LED switch, okay, to on, it should switch on. So I'm going to turn it on. There, the LED switch on. When I turn it off, the LED switches off. Okay, it works. Next, I'm going to go to Thunkable. Okay, I'm going to type in as uppercase O, lowercase n. I'm going to send data. Okay, when I type on, it switches on. Anything else, off. Send data, off. It switches off the LED. So it works perfectly. Okay, so this text field, okay, this text field, whatever is inside the text field, it will send over. Now you know how to do up an app, you know how it actually works. Okay, it doesn't have to be a text field, it can be a button. When you press the button, it will send that text over, or you can use other ways of sending a value over. Doesn't require you to must have a text field. This is just for you to know that it works, and you can test it out. There is a so that you know, you can see from the sample at the back how it actually works. Okay, from these blocks you will be able to you can try and figure out how you can create an app with maybe a better UI to get it to work. Okay, so next. Okay, so now we are now actually able to do a lot of things. We are able to read and write from the cloud. Okay, we are also able to the Arduino is able to receive from sensors or write to hardwares the data. Okay, so all these can be read or write from the Arduino, and it can also relay the info to the cloud. Okay, so this is what we have done. So we have actually done pretty much a lot of things already. So actually you are actually able to do a lot of things. Okay, so what are the other things that maybe you can explore? Okay, this is the last lesson. So what are the things that you may want to explore so that you can do more? Is power. Okay, with the Arduino you can only have 5 volt. So how are you actually able to control things like fan, high powered equipments, air cons? Power is an issue. So there are actually ways to use the board to actually control high powered devices. So these are some of the things that maybe you will want to read up, you will want to find out more info. Okay, and then there are also much more powerful development boards that you may want to explore. Some of them run their own OS. Okay, and so different boards require different ways of programming it. Other things are sensors. We have gone through quite a few sensors, but there are still a lot of other sensors out there that you may want to look at. Okay, which will tell you different kind of things. Like example, this is a soil moisture sensor, so you can actually use this to tell the moisture of the soil, and then you know when to water the plant. Okay, so you can actually use these to tell moisture. Then there's also a flex sensor. This is when you flex it, it will send a number, okay, an analog reading to the hardware. So this is one of the type of sensors that maybe you want to explore. OLED screens. Okay, OLED screens to display data instead of serial monitor. If you can actually explore using OLED screens. And also this is the dust sensor. So this one, what it does is that it will give you a reading based on the amount of dust. So actually this can be used to tell the haze, okay, the PSI, air quality index. You can actually use these to calculate how much dust is in the air, and then you are able to actually calculate the PSI or AQI real time for haze. Okay, so these are some things that you can further explore. Okay, hope this lesson has on Stuino has benefited you. Thank you very much.